Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. Okay, for this Chaitanya Charitamrta. Okay, so we will start with the invocation. Okay, okay, here we go. Just a final check. Are you all able to hear me? Okay, all right. Sri Radhika Priya Manaramana Varam Varadayaka Kinkari Shreya Janam Jana Gopika Dasyaka Premamayam Pranamami Yuga Guru Pada Padam Adikomal Kanchana Gopi Padam Padasevaka Data Param Paragokulajanamanadatya Padaram Pranamami Yuga Guru Pada Padam Nijaneshaka Bhajamana Bhavamayam Maya Karuni Bhakta Bandavaram Varamanjari Bhavana Dasya Dayam Pranamami Yuga Guru Pada Padam Rasa Rasa Rasikaram Yachitam Chita Boshaka Amruta Vanidaram Tarani Paramuttama Sadhu Janam Pranamami Yuga Guru Pada Padam Mamanavika Padi Gurum Sarvagatim Gati Tava Pada Sevakaya Syakaram Karunamaya Jagat Guru Charana Bhuvam Pranamami Yuga Guru Pada Padam Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhargavaram Varavamana Vikrama Sakya Ganam Ganabhakti Prajnana Paramagurum Pranamami Yuga Guru Pada Padam Mama Guru Narayana Swami Padam Padamangala Rupa Gatya Charam Sharanagata Raga Bhakti Dharam Pranamami Yuga Guru Pada Padam Jagaswami Maharashi Gurum Guru Vatsala Bhavaka Sreya Bhavam Baba Bhagavati Kanti Yashyayatim Pranamami Yuga Guru Pada Padam 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 Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Okay, welcome everyone. And yes, also today we will be continuing from where we left. Actually, last class we were just hitting at the 45th sloka of this Adi Leela because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has three cantos, large collection of that's cantos. Adi Leela is one canto, Madhya Leela is one canto, and Antya Leela is the third canto. So the beginning is about his early pastime, and then the middle is his married life and all those. And then finally, the last one is about his sannyasa, and that is basically the highest one is Andhya Leela is really very, very sweet. All right. So So in this Adi Leela, fifth chapter we are currently going through, and we just completed text number 45. What was that? Actually, we are dealing with the details about Jiva Tattva. So Jiva Tattva is basically what we are actually dealing with. So Jivas, where they are really originating from, and those are the details that we were actually going through. Now, Jivas, always remember, we are all the Jivas are part and parcels of Krishna only. But only difference is all the Jivas really came from his Jiva Sakti. But that Jiva Sakti is really, all the Jivas coming from the Jiva Sakti, they're all dispatched to different destinations. So those coming from Balaram, they are really going to Goloka, and those jivas actually coming from Mula Shankarshana, they are all going to be Dwaraka and also Saket. Then those jivas coming from the Maha Sankarshana, they are all going to be in Vaikunta. And there are so many unlimited Vaikunta planets. And then those jivas coming from Mahavishnu, and they are the ones mainly called, they are actually marginal, the Tadastha, because these jivas, some went up, some went down. So whatever the jivas that really went up, they're all there in the Vaikunta, or whatever the planet, spiritual planet, then they're permanently there. It's eternally there now. But those who really look down at the Maya, and those are the jivas called Patta jivas. So, okay, so what is the thing again? From Jiva Sakti, which is actually Krishna's, is potent, his energy, basically Sakti Parimana. Because many philosophies are not able to really catch up this very unique philosophy of Sakti Parimana. Means we did not really come directly from Krishna, but we really came from Krishna through his Sakti. Sakti means energy. So that is why you have you have Antaranga Sakti. Antaranga means internal potency. Then you have the Tadastha, which is basically where all the Baddha Jivas are actually coming from, as we are talking about. And then the third one is the Bahiranga Sakti. Bahiranga Sakti is basically all the, is a external in the sense it is Jada Sakti, Jada. That is all the material universes. Okay, now when we continue, and these always remember, we are talking about mainly the jivas of, there are mostly coming from Mahashankarshan, and Mahashankarshan is how they are coming from Mahashankar. Mahashankarshan is actually shelter of all the jivas. That is exactly this 45 was really talking about. But again, all the jivas mean what kind of jivas? Because sometimes, if you really see the text, it may not be really very easy to understand unless you really see the chart that I have been really showing. So here we are talking about the jivas, Mahashankarshana jivas. They really go to Vaikunta. But again, Mahashankarshana comes, Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. Sadashiva is actually going to do he's not going to do directly on the dispersing of the jivas, but he's really, he really comes as Lord Shiva, then they really then again expand as Rudras, and they do the destruction of the universe when the time comes for annihilation. Okay. So text number 45 says, Jiva Nama Tadasthakya Eka Sakti Haya Mahashankarshana Sabha Jivera Ashraya. Because this is very short, but it is not really very clear. Mahashankarshana, all the jivas are coming, as I said, they really go to Vaikunta. And then from this Mahashankarshana comes the Mahavishnu, then from whom comes the Tadasa jivas of the Tadasa Sakti. They also some go to Vaikunta, and wherever they want to go up to the spiritual dimension, and then some of them I look down. So it is very complicated to understand. Sometimes these kind of slokas, So many things are inside, so we have to be very careful. So text number 46 is really further really talking about the Sangarshana, but here is saying Sangarshana is the original shelter of the Purusha. Which is Sangarshana? Mula Sangarshana or Maha Sangarshana? So this is where we can really get misled. Yenha Kaite Vishwotpati Yenhata Pralaya say Purushera Sangarshana Samasraya. Here we are talking about Purusha. Okay, so Sangarshana is the original shelter of the Purusha. What are those Purusha? Purusha are, there are three Vishnus are called Purusha. Okay, very, very intricate. I will tell you, very intricate. So, first Purusha is Mahavishnu. Okay, then the second Purusha is Garbhodaya Sai Vishnu. Also, one Garbhodaya Sai Vishnu for every single Pramana. Then the other one is Kshiragodaya Vishnu. So these three are the Purusha avatars of Krishna, coming from Krishna, but they are all coming from through Sangarshana. Different stages again. Because Mula Sangarshana is not, not directly attached to the Purusha avatars. No. It is Maha Sangarshana, from whom Mahavishnu comes. Then Garbhodaya Sai Vishnu, and then the Kshiragodaya Sai Vishnu, who is Paramatma. They are all coming. So these are the three Vishnus, and they are called Purusha avatar. So this sloka is saying, yes, the Sankarshana is the original shelter of the Purusha. Here, which Sankarshana? Because when it is just same Sankarshana, which Sankarshana? This is Maha Sankarshana, from whom this world is created, and in whom it is dissolved. Okay, and now because why it is becoming complicated is expansion, then expansion, then expansion. The way if we say just a tail of a snake, but the problem is then we see that this is the truth. Oh, there is a tail here, but the problem is that tail is actually part of the body, and the body has a has a end, and also it has a middle and it has a top. There is a mouth also. So this is where the understanding is really very complicated. Okay. Now the text number 47 is saying about Sarvasraya Sarvadbhuta Aishwarya Apara Ananda Kahitenare Mahima Yanhara. He said he is a shelter of everything. Okay, now all the things are sambar, like a sambar, everything is there. So how will you understand that now? Because he is not really specifically mentioned here in the sloka whether which Sankarshana, but it is actually referred as Sankarshana, any Sankarshana. It's not really specific there, but it is a shelter of everything. So that means Sankarshana actually leads all the way to Balaram, in fact, because Sankarshana is the expansion from all the way coming from Balaram, and that means everything is in a way. Or, Balaram is the shelter of everything. But Balaram is coming from Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan. So Swayam Bhagavan is a shelter of everything. So this is how it gets complicated. That means whenever we are reading these scriptures without the guidance of Guru or Vaishnavas, it is very easy to really totally confusing. That's the thing. Okay. So anyway, he's saying he is wonderful in every respect, and his opulence is infinite. And even now Ananda is coming there. Who is Ananda now? See, it's not explaining. All of a sudden he's talking about he is the shelter of everything. So we assume that Sankarshana. Which is Sankarshana? It's like the same thing like a snake. Which one? It's the end or middle or the top or the head. See, this is where understanding is very, very difficult. That's why that chart I had to prepare. Okay, now it's also saying Ananda cannot describe his glory. Where is Ananda? Ananda is Ananda Shesha. Ananda Shesha is the place where Lord Vishnu is actually resting. So like Garbhodaya Sai Vishnu is, because this Ananda normally when you say the one which is, who is supporting Garbhodaya Sai Vishnu is actually mostly called Ananda. But again, Mahavishnu is also sleeping on the bed of the snake. That's also Ananda. And also Kshiragodaya Vishnu in the milk ocean also there is Ananda again. So which Ananda we are talking about? So which Ananda is really describing his glory? Actually, all the Anandas are doing. All the Anandas. Okay, this is why it is very complicated. In fact, that great is supposed to be the great Jnani called Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda, was once asked, because he gave a big lecture, confused everybody. eh, nothing is everything, everything is nothing, nothing is something, and something is nothing. This is the kind of logic that if you read his, his lecture, of course it has so much of words and juggleries, and I really wanted to read the whole thing about it, which has volume and volume and volume. At the end, you don't get anything. So he was asked, where is the jiva coming from? You won't believe that great Jnani, he told the word because I have read it. I have the book somewhere, the old law, so many years back, 50 years back, something like that. Maybe more than that. If he said, oh, it is a mind-boggling thing, fact, where nobody knows where these jivas actually come from. Basically, he said, I don't know. That's what he said. But then here, these sastras, it is really going to so much of depth. But also, at the same time, it is compacted so that we are not able to understand even precisely. That is the problem with all the slokas and contents and things like that. So we have to be very careful. That is why the chart helps. So that Ananda is with every Vishnu. Every Vishnu is supported by Ananda. And the different incarnations coming from these all the three Vishnus. Whenever there is an incarnation coming from, where is it coming from actually? Every incarnation is coming from Krishna only. But sometimes it says, oh, all the incarnation is coming from, from Mahavishnu or something, or Sankarshan or something. That's also true. So that's why it's like catching the snake. So depending on what we are actually here touching, you see, oh, this is what it is. But the thing is, it's all different. Its tail is different. Its stomach is different, and it is its upper part is different, and the head is different. So snake has so many, but snake is snake. You see, that's why it is actually very, very tricky. Okay. So this even Ananda cannot describe his glory. Whose glory? It says he. There, it's saying that he. That's the thing. Ananda cannot. So it is such a very, very compact statement where we can actually easily, get misunderstood. So all the pastimes that are happening in every planet, they're all known to the Ananda Shesha. So these are the incarnations in a way, even though it is really actually coming from, one way, it is coming from Bhagavan, Lord Sri Krishna, but again, all the way down to again Mahavishnu, or even they say Narayana. But Narayana, the Vasudeva is Narayana. But also, if you see as we go, all the incarnations coming from Narayana, all the way, suddenly we will see a line there. It makes so much of confusion actually going there. Okay, that is why we have to be very, very careful in really reading it. So these Ananda Shesha, like different Ananda Shesha, one for Mahavishnu, one there in Karpada Sai, which one means one each in each Brahmanda. And then there is only one, the Kshiropadhyaya Vishnu, who is actually reflecting into the heart of every living being in the heart. This is how. So Kshiropadhyaya Vishnu is only one. He also have one of these Isha because he is sleeping in the milk ocean there, milk ocean. But again, so where exactly the Mahavishnu is sleeping? It's not milk ocean. That is Braja river. That is Braja river. Okay, so that is called Karana ocean. That's what they call it. It's a Braja river. But then where is actually Karpada Sai Vishnu is actually, he is also lying on the Ananta Shesha. But where? Where? What kind of, is it water? Is it Braja? No. Is it in milk ocean? No. It is actually from the sweat of himself. So this Garbhoda Sai Vishnu, when he really, when a Brahmanda is really formed, he is actually entering into the Brahmanda, and he really becomes a protector. In general, when we say Vishnu, this is what the Vishnu that we talk about. In general, Vishnu means Garbhoda Sai Vishnu, who is actually protecting that particular Brahmanda. So where Brahma is coming from the navel, and the Lord Shiva coming from the eyebrows of Lord Brahma, and from whom Rutra is coming. Rutras, in every Brahmanda, different number of Rutras will be there. And in our Brahmanda, it's very small. I mean, it's a small, relatively small, because our Brahma has only 4 heads. He had 5, then one he lost, only one, only 4. And this Brahma, from whom that when Lord Shiva comes, he is also called Rutra. Again, that name also given Rutra, but Rutra is actually the expansions of Lord Shiva is actually Rutra. So this is why scriptures can really confuse you. If you are not careful enough, you will completely come to this thing, total confusion. So that is why we have to hear from Guru. So anyway, so now you know the Ananda Sesha is for every Vishnu, is the bed. But the water that each Vishnu, each of the 3 Vishnus are actually floating on or sleeping on, they are different. So Mahavishnu he is floating on the Braja river, which is the Karana ocean. Karana means a reason for something. So what is the reason? Reason for this Rishi Leela. So that is a place where it is actually all the Brahmandas are all coming from the pores of Mahavishnu. That is why it's actually Karana. So it's starting from there. So that water is Braja river or Karana ocean. Then one drop from that really fell down to this earth. Just one drop. So that one drop is the one that becomes Ganges. Only one drop. That means you can see that the ocean there is the spiritual dimension which we cannot even digest. So when Vamana Dev, see the Vamana avatar, when he was really measuring the sky as all the everything else, as his one foot, his nail of that particular foot, his foot, just to touch the cover, the ceiling, and just because of it touched that, there was a small one drop came out. This is what eventually manifested for us the Ganges, so that we really have it. So this Ganges is that. So Ganges by itself has a spiritual dimension, spiritual body, which we do not see. We see that it is all coming from Himalayas, but the thing is, we do not have the understanding to really see beyond as how the whole thing actually is happening. So people may, this is very difficult to understand. But there is a spiritual dimension. Similarly, like for example, everything that is happening in this world, in this material world, there is a spiritual cause. Krishna has really, he was the one who wished to do the Srishti Leela. And everything happens all the way, and then finally now we are also here, Jadaloka is there, and these and relations, these and born and dead and born. So many things are going, but we are not having an understanding of the spiritual reason beyond our existence in the Jadaloka. This is where it is very difficult. Reading scriptures is very difficult again. Because, they may say, oh, how, somebody can ask, one drop of Ganges, from the Karana ocean, one drop, where is the drop? Only one drop, then how can you say that there are big, so much of water is coming? How can that one drop? No, it is spiritually a manifestation of that one drop becomes Ganges. Okay, all right. Anyway, that is about now. Just we are stuck on text number 47 where it said, Sankarsana, he is the shelter of everything. So here he means Sankarshana, that's what we see in the bracket. But here actually that he is all the way, you can actually trickle all the way to Bhagavan, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. So depending on which is Sankarshana or which Vishnu, you can really trace it all the way there. And then Ananda, we talked about three places he is serving there. And also, as you see, Balaram is the Balaram's Amsa is really more predominant. The original Amsa of Balaram is predominant in these all the Sankarshana and the Shesha, Ananda Shesha. So this is another aspect also. Even though we see, oh yeah, from Balaram comes Vasudev, first quadruple expansion and second quadruple, all the things are happening. But there is something more subtle that we don't understand is Balaram's Amsa is predominant in these all the Sankarshanas and the Ananda. So Ananda is also who is Ananda then? Where exactly Ananda comes from? That's also coming from Balaram's energy only. Same thing. So Sankarshana, Jiva is also coming and also he becomes Ananda. That's also Shankarshana doing. So when you say Ananda, it also means Shankarshana too. Because from Shankarshana only becomes, when he really comes into the service mood, and he is really becoming the bed. And also not only that, all the dams and the paraphernalia, lords, dresses and these, everything is all coming from Sankarshana only. That is Balaram again. So this is another thing that we have to really understand. So he becomes Ananda, okay, for supporting the Vishnu. Okay. Now 48. That Shankarshana, Turiya Vishutta Sattva, here it says Shankarshana Nama, Tinho Yandra Amsa, say Nityananda Rama. Now it goes all the way to Balaram. So he says, the Shankarshana is who is in fully transcendental pure goodness is a partial expansion of Nityananda Prabhu, Nityananda Balaram. So here it is saying Nityananda Rama. Nityananda Rama. What does it mean? Nityananda Prabhu, who is actually Balarama. See, everything is all condensed. Anyway, so now we continue. And now, from there, he is really stepping into saying, through that Nityananda Rama, whose partial representation called Karanodaka Sai Vishnu. Where is Karanodaya Vishnu coming? Who is that? He is the Mahavishnu. Lying on the Karana ocean, as just we talked about it, he is the original Purusha. What does it mean? What is the original? What is the duplicate? So here we have to understand again. Why this is happening, why he is the original. Because there are three Vishnus, three Rupa Vishnu, right? Three Vishnu Rupani. So anyone who understands the intricate of the three Vishnus, he is automatically liberated on this automatically finished. Because that means what? Oh yeah, three Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Garbhodaya Vishnu, Shirogadaya Vishnu. All right, I know. Am I liberated? No. There are so much intricacies there that we have to understand. This is why it becomes so complicated. It's not that easy. So here it said that Karanodaka Sai Vishnu, who is lying on the Karana ocean, which is the Viraja river, who is also the cause of the Ganges anyway, and who is also actually the original Ganges is actually Saki, whose form is actually Vraja river. That's another thing again. So many details will be going in. So here it is saying that particular Karanodakashai Vishnu, who is called Mahavishnu, is the original Purusha. So there are out of the three Purusha, he is original. Why? Because all the others are inherently coming from him. Because if you see that Aniruddha and then Pradyumna, they are all coming there. But if you see, and if you see, they are actually primarily coming along with the Mahavishnu, but Mahavishnu is actually predominating. Because Mahavishnu also coming with Sadashiva, which again Sadashiva and Mahavishnu you cannot differentiate easily. Both are Vishnu Tattvas. Actually, that's another big thing. When you say Sadashiva, you may actually mean Mahavishnu also. When you say Mahavishnu, you also mean Sadashiva also, because it is very difficult to differentiate them. Of course, there are two forms, but hard it's very difficult to really differentiate, because all the functional, all these powers and everything, they are all embedded there in both of them, and it is very difficult to separate that out. He is doing this, he is doing that. Only very little we can understand. This is another problem. That is why all these people, they say, oh, you say Mahavishnu, Shiva came from Vishnu, Vishnu came from Shiva. These all kinds of things are coming there. And then finally the truth is, this Mahavishnu and the Sadashiva, okay, you just see them as together as Mahashankarshan. This Sadashiva, what is he doing? He is meditating on whom? He is meditating on his souls, who is Mahashankarshan. That is why his name is called Shankar. Why he is called Shankar? This is the thing, because Shankarshan. So his meditation is, the object of meditation is, the Vishaya of his meditation is Mahashankarshan. So he is called Shankar. Yeah, so much of details are there. You can keep on talking and talking and talking, so much there. So he is original Purusha because he is the first one coming there. All the others are actually coming into the material dimension, and also, remember Kshiropadai Vishnu, Karmadachai Vishnu happens afterwards actually. Even though that we know Pradyumna and Aniruddha became like this, but if you see the truth, there is something more embedded there in terms of, because first he comes, Mahavishnu comes, then the other things happen there. So this is the reason he is saying original Purusha is Karanodakashayi Vishnu, who is Mahavishnu, who is lying on the Karana ocean. Okay, good. This is text number 50. Now text number 51. Vaikunda Bahire Yei Jyotirmaya Dama Tahara Bahire Karanar Nava Nama. So this is another, again, look at it. Now you are putting a camera in a different perspective. Another camera is coming now. We are seeing from our Vaikunda planets. So where is Vaikunda? Vaikunda is beyond this Brahmajyoti, and beyond, above all the material universes, Brahmandas. If you really see that, there is actually the effulgence which is Brahman, or Brahman, impersonal Brahman effulgence is there. Those who really get liberated, in the sense they really completely detached, and then they are getting they are getting Sayujya Mukti. They clearly see the Brahma Jyoti there as soon as they really come out from all these the different layers, 8 layers of material elements, starting with earth, fire, air, ether, and all the things. Then then you have mind, intelligent, false ego, which is ahankar. So now, because each one is 10 times thicker than the previous ones. That's another complicated thing. So when they come out, they see Brahman. Okay, so that is, we are looking from our Jada Loka, you are trying to see, you are going up. But this particular sloka, this camera is there in Vaikunda, not in Jada Loka. So the camera angle is different. So he's saying, outside the Vaikunda planet, this Brahman effulgence is there. Actually, now another Shastra, if you see that Brahman effulgence is everywhere. It doesn't mean that even, those Vaikunthas, there is no Brahman there. Because it's the effulgence of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And then, that means Brahman effulgence is not there in Vaikunda, or it is not there in Dwaraka, Madhura, or Saket, or in Golaka. No, it is there. But it is subtle there, because you see Bhagavan directly there in the spiritual form, and effulgence becomes secondary, so it is not really predominant there. Where is it predominant? In the dividing position between this material world and then the spiritual world. That is where Brahma Jyoti is predominant, because there is purely that is there. There is nothing else. That's why. There is no other vastu except this impersonal Brahman effulgence, which is actually, we cannot say it's a vastu. It's a spiritual entity, but it has no attribute at all. Nothing. You cannot really put any attribute, any properties for that. If you go there, say properties of Brahman, it says no properties, no quality, nothing. And so from Vaikuntha planets, if you see down towards, you are looking at the, down to the, all the material planets there, and that you will see through Brahman effulgence, and then only you will see the Jadalokas. As I think I may have a, okay, let me see. Okay, maybe this one. Okay, I don't know how clear it is. So if you see the slide at the left side, where my finger is pointing down, there's a white area. This white area is a Brahma Jyoti. So Vaikuntha is here. So what you really see there, that is Vaikuntha. And what you really see here is this is the Jadaloka. Jadaloka is here. Actually, Jadaloka is here, even down. Then in between is a Braja river, that is actually there. That's a blue like a ocean. And above that is actually the Brahma Jyoti. Why Brahma Jyoti is not visible in the place where the Braja river is ending, as I said, because it's not predominantly seen because of some other Vastu is there. That Vastu is Braja river. That is why we are not really, we are not directly seeing only the Brahman apple. So from Vaikuntha, okay, look at my finger again. So that is Vaikuntha. So right, all these Vaikuntha where Lakshmi Narayana, they are there. Then finally down it's a Shiva Loka, that is Sadashiva Loka. And then, so that means Sadashiva Loka also, one can even, that's another thing again confusing is, that's also set as Vaikuntha only. That's another thing again. Vaikuntha planets means all the spiritual planets are actually called Vaikuntha planets too. This is another confusion. So, but anyway, so here this sloka is saying Vaikuntha Bahire Ei Jyotirmaya Dhamma means, okay, so there from the Vaikuntha, if you really see outside of this Vaikuntha, you see Brahma Jyoti. That means, including Sadashiva Loka. Yeah, you see? So that is why a picture worth 1,000 words. See, this actually, he explains very, very clearly. All right? Okay. So now we'll go to the next one. Actually, this has a lot of explanations from Srila Prabhupada. Then also, so okay, another thing again. Okay, another fact is coming. So you see the Vaikuntha Loka, all right, and this Vaikuntha Loka, because actually in the way it has been written, it has been painted. You see Brahman showing that much, but actually what is happening, Brahman, that effulgence is everywhere, as I mentioned that. So now what it is saying is, if you forget the Brahman, what do you see outside the thing? Suppose you really take that white patch out. Suppose you really make it as invisible or something. Brahma Jyoti is invisible anyway. That's another thing. We cannot see it through our no, it's not possible. So if you take that out, what is there? Aha, Vaikuntha Bediye Eka Ache Jalanidhi. The Jalanidhi is what? That is the mass of water that is endless. It is endless. That is the Braja river. So that means in the picture, it gives some understanding about Brahma Jyoti and then the Braja river. But it's not really, we cannot separate them in the sense, spiritually, it is very difficult, spiritually it's a different thing altogether. Because what that means is, outside of the Vaikuntha, you have Braja river. But Brahma Jyoti is predominant there also. How will you paint both easily? That's why in the painting they are really put as two separate entities like this. But actually, Brahma Jyoti is predominant in the place where Braja river is running. That is a Karana ocean. That is exactly what it's saying. So Vaikuntha Badiye Eka Ache Jalanidhi. Then there this Ananta Apara Tara Nahike Avadi. That means this water is, is everywhere it is there. But is it really physically a water? Is it a jada substance? Is it actually material substance? No, it is not. This is where understanding is very difficult. Spiritual understanding is very different. That is why those who really get into the spiritual dimension, in the sense they really get into samadhi level. When they really get into there, then they can understand. Otherwise, we cannot understand this at all. So it's saying surrounding Vaikunta is a mass of water that is endless. Ananda, Ananda, that is endless, unfathomed and unlimited. Okay, so what here it means is this Brahma Jyoti, even though it is actually showing there, this Braja river is actually completely there outside the Vaikunta, which includes Kailash, which is basically Shiva Loka that you see there also. See that there is a small rim there. That rim is actually Shiva Loka. That Shiva Loka also you have to see that as part of the Vaikunta, because that is basically is the entry to before Vaikunta. You have to go through the Shiva Loka only to go into the Vaikunta. Now, if you see this Gopakumar, where, in the Brigad Bhagavatamrita, when he was actually traveling through all the different levels of planetary systems, he's coming here. He's coming here into the same Karana ocean, and where he is actually also seeing this Brahma Jyoti, and he describes that it is like an endless ocean which is swallowed. It is ready to swallow you like a whirlpool. It will take you inside and finish. You are finished. This is exactly Brahman. So it is there. And he really got into that work. He was about to get himself finished. But luckily, the Gopal mantra that he received from his Guru, so that, like a jet, remember when you really put the rocket, when you send the rocket to moon, what they do is they put there are kind of 3 stages of rockets are there, 3 compartments. So when you really lift up, you need so much of energy to really push against the gravitational force. So that will be massive. That's the first one. So as soon as you really gone to the oceanosphere, or they're higher where you are outside the gravitational control, the gravitation, then you don't need that much of things. So as soon as you go there, this will be burned down. So that person will actually fall down. But then the other rocket will be really burning to really take it further to the next level. So like that, when Gopakumar landed in this place where so-called Braja river and also Brahmajyoti is there, he was getting sucked there inside. So he was about to kill himself. That's it. This may make basically it's like a death actually, because you will be losing your consciousness. That is why we call that merging in Brahman is nothing other than killing yourself. It's a spiritual suicide. But all the Hindus and so-called jnanis and yogis, and they are totally mad. They do not know. They are ignorant. They are calling themselves jnanis. But unfortunately, they are not jnanis. They are anjanis. They don't know. So that means if you really want to really merge into the Brahman, you are finished forever. That is it. Almost forever. Then you killed yourself. So it's a spiritual suicide. So Gopakumar was about to get into that. Then Gopal mantra he got, because these jnanis, they don't know anything about Gopal mantra. So the Gopal mantra is like the booster rocket. That rocket fired up, and that mantra lifted Gopakumar up, and then it was really taking these ionosphere that I was talking about in the moon going to the moon, and it landed into the Shiva Loka. That you really see there. Remember like right there, Shiva Loka, and there Mahesha is there, Sadashiva, and all his associates and so all those associates were all there. He really encoded. So then he really, after some time, he really also sees some Vaishnavas coming from Vaikunta to visit there, to the Shiva Loka. Then he sees them, and then he was wondering, who are they? And so then he really wanted to go there. And then this is a long story. Brigad Bhagavatamrita is a wonderful scripture revealed by Sanatana Goswami. It is not something that he made up or something. Always very careful. Because it was a thing, the arrangement by Radharani when they were leaving, he really called one of the Gopas. and saying, you Gopa, you are not coming with us now. You have to stay here, and then in this planet Earth, and then you have a assigned duty there. You have to go through all the levels, 14 levels of planetary systems in the Jadaloka. Then above that, you really come through all these Brahmajodis, and then also coming way all the way through these Shivaloka, and then the Vaikunda, then Dwaraka, and similarly Madhura, and even Saket also. Saket actually Vaikunda, Saket, Dwaraka, but because after Saket only Dwaraka comes there. So Dwaraka, then Madhura, then he hits the Goloka. That is a long journey. It's a very big book. Right? I'm seeing the book right there, right in front. It's a big book. Anyway, so we are going to have this translated into Tamil. The translation is going on actually. So that is another one. But anyway, where are we? Oh, yeah, we were there describing about this Braja river, looking at from the Vaikunda side. So what you see on the right side was actually expanded that of this Mahavishnu lying in the Karana ocean. So if you see further there on the right side of the slide, you see the Brahmajyoti, and then I'm really more of showing you the Karana ocean where Mahavishnu is actually lying there. That Mahavishnu lying there in the Karana ocean there. So now that he is really, so many, like the Brahmandas are actually coming like bubbles and bubbles and bubbles. And one of the bubbles, each bubble is a universe. So there is only one universe that we are expanding. So this is what is actually called, there is a sukta. It's called Purusha. Purusha Shuktam is actually nothing but it is actually glorifying this Anda. Anda means Brahmanda. So because that is also called Purusha. But original Purusha is Mahavishnu. Secondary Purushas are Garbhodaya Sai Vishnu and then Kshirakadaya Vishnu. And then in these the Purusha Suktam. I really studied that also. Yeah, the way that I did a lot of things there actually. So the Vedic class that I attended for several years probably. When I was in US actually those days. So it is all glorifying these Brahmana. These are like a egg shape. That's the universe. So that universe is the one which is born from Mahavishnu from the pores. That's what they are actually glorifying. So they are not glorifying Bhagavan Krishna. No. So actually, it's not useful for us. Okay. Now the next one, text number 53. Vaikundera Prithvi Adi Sakala Sinmaya Mayika Bhutera Tadi Janmanahi Haya. In Vaikunda, Bhutera Tadi. Okay, what is this Bhutera? Bhutera means this or Jadaloka. In Jadaloka, what do you have? Earth, water, fire, air, and ether. In Vaikunda also, it is a surprise, it is there. But they are not material, but they are spiritual. This is very important sloka to really put in your mind. There is no material elements there. Everything is spiritual. But it also has earth, water, like land, water, fire, air, and ether, everything there. See, for example, this Ganges came from this Karana ocean, which is not material, as I said. But that one, when it came here, then it really now flowing as Ganges, which we don't see the drop, whatever that actually came down. We don't see that is spiritual. But it really came from that spiritual water, which is the Karana ocean. Similarly, Vaikunda also, all these things are there. Vaikundera Prithvi Adi Sakala Sinmaya. So Adi Sakala Sinmaya means everything is all spiritual there. What is Prithvi? Prithvi means all these elements. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, there are the elements. So they are all spiritual. So there is Maika Bhutera, because this Bhutera means there is all the Bhumi. This Bhumi, that means this earth is Maika. But this Maika Bhutera Tati Janma Nahi Gaya means they are not like this material world with all these five elements that we are actually seeing in this Jada Loka, the material world. No. But Vaikuntha also has this earth, water, fire, and air and ether. But it is very, very different to understand. Okay? So now, okay, we'll put a stop in the, we'll take two more. So we started with 45 or 46. Today we will do with the 55. Now we are seeing 54. Oh yeah, this is further expanding that. That Chinmaya Jala Sei Paramakarana Yara Eka Kana Ganga Paditta Pavana. What that means is the water of this Karana ocean that you really see, there's a Karana ocean that you really see, which is outside the Vaikuntha, which is the original cause, the water of the Karana ocean, which is what the original cause of what? Original cause of the material worlds to manifest. Because that's a Karana ocean. That is where all these material worlds are really getting all coming from the pores of Mahavishnu. That is the place. Because the Mahavishnu is just lying on the Karana ocean, and it is also spiritual. This Karana ocean is spiritual. That's what we saw that also anyway. The sacred Ganges. The sacred Ganges, look at Yara Eka Gana Ganga. From there came only one drop of water which became Ganga. And Paritta Pavana, that Ganga became the one who can purify the sins of the people. So the water of the Karana ocean, which is the original cause of all these material universes really coming out through the force of Mahavishnu, is therefore actually the Karana ocean is spiritual. That's what he's saying. And from the Karana ocean came the one drop of it came down, and that became the sacred Ganges, literally flowing all the way there in the Bharat, which can purify the fallen souls. Okay, that was the text number 54. Okay, with 55 we'll see. Now it says, in that ocean, in that Karana means, what that means is cause. Karana means, in English, it is cause. It is the one causing this manifestation of so many worlds. Brahmandas, we call, or universe. So many universes coming from his pores. What actually happens is, how does the universe actually coming through? These universes are coming as like a clusters of things. So because now that clusters is like it's coming out, and that cluster is really, if you see that, then again it's a collection of Brahmandas. So Brahmandas are all collections, and they are coming in clusters. But if you examine that closely, it is so dense. It is actually what the scientists call a supercluster. Supercluster means it is some so what is coming from the pores is supercluster. Because the scientists are seeing now that there are black holes where all these galaxies are all going into. I am not saying, scientists are saying. What is that black hole? They don't know. They are bereft of the spiritual knowledge. That black hole is nothing but the pore of Mahavishnu. Then look at how big Mahavishnu must be. Just one pore is that black hole, which is really taking so much of super clusters. They just get in. So in the super cluster, then you have clusters. That clusters are the one which is really, which we call which we call galaxies. So Milky Way is one of the galaxies, and in the Milky Way is so many billions of suns, and the suns, each sun has a planetary system, going around. So that particular, so many billions of suns are there. So which is there in only one Milky Way. Milky Way, which is actually that we call, for us, it is called Milky Way. So that is actually, then it is part of a cluster. So many galaxies, so many of them will be really together. Then again, that will become, so many will be forming that into supercluster. They are all coming from one pore of Mahavishnu. And what is the dimension from one universe to another universe? Probably about, maybe 2 million light years. One universe. So this is the thing. Not one universe, but one cluster. One cluster is something like that. This is scientists are actually saying that. Huh? That many, so it is also like the egg shape too. That clusters are also like egg shape. And the universe is also egg shape. So one universe is like probably maybe a million yojanas or something. Yojana is sometimes somebody says 8 miles or 5 miles, whatever it is. So that's a universe. So universe is actually a smaller portion that has maybe, some suns. We don't know how many suns it really has that, but we have only one sun and we have a planetary system going on. But again, that's all we know. But again, so many dimensions are there. 14 levels of planetary systems are there in one universe. And where out of the 14, we are seeing only one of them. We cannot see others. We cannot even see the Pitraloka where all these dead people go. We cannot see the planetary system where all the yogis go, or where the Swargas are there, or Patalokas are there, Pitraloka is there. We have no idea. Janaloka, like Janaloka, then also Maharloka, then similarly it really goes on all the way to Brahmaloka, Satyaloka. We have no way of seeing this. So whatever we are seeing with our naked eyes and our instruments, it's not complete. We don't know. That itself is humongous. We cannot even have, our brain cannot even understand the big picture of what this whole Srishti Leela is. That will bring into our the heart, or rather our whole intelligence will really try to think the glory, how much powerful that Krishna is. Yes, is unbelievably so powerful, so huge. And again, look at here, all these things are one pore from the Mahavishnu, and it is a gigantic body, and all the supercluster, everything going in one pore, we are not able to understand. So this is this is the way. And this Mahavishnu is not another one, just one expansion of Krishna. So now you see how much glory that Krishna has, how much power he has. And he has not used all the powers either. Only a fraction of the power he is using it. Then how will you understand now? But that sweet Krishna is controlled by his devotee. This is what is important for us. We don't care how glory he is, how superior he is, how much unlimited, Brahmandas, it's coming from his own expansion, does not matter. Oh Krishna, I love you. I love you. This is the only thing that we care. Because even though he has that much of power, he is bound by his own devotee. And today actually there was another class. There we were covering one sloka. What was that? Sadhavo. Sadhava means, okay, Akridayam, Mahyam. That means my devotee, pure devotee is in my heart. And I am the only one who is in my pure devotee also. And what does he do? He binds me with a loving rope. I cannot escape from him. That's a beautiful sloka. That's one sloka itself is really good enough for a great Harikatha, actually. So much else there. This is the only thing that we really we should not really worrying about this big opulence and things like that. No. Because for a devotee, these are all should be hidden completely. We need only his love, object of love. Nanda Bala Gopinata. That was a bhajan I wrote long time back by this kind of sentiment. Huh? Nanda Bala Gopinata Sundara Deva Deva Sundara Deva Deva Nanda Bala Gopinata Sundara Deva Deva Sundara Deva Deva. So anyway, so here we complete that with the text 45 saying that Karana ocean that we mainly talked about, where Mahavishnu is breathing out so many Brahmatas. And what is this Mahavishnu? He is just a plenary portion of Lord Shankarshana. Where this Lord Shankarshana, this is in the case, he is Mahashankarshana. He is also a second quadruple expansion, but the first quadruple expansion is Mula Shankarshana, who really came from Balaram and who really came from just Swayam Bhagavan. Anik is one side. But all goes to this Swayam Bhagavan. Okay. So, anyway, we don't have anyone to sing anything. It's okay. Or any questions? Any questions or anything to add, anything to subtract, anything to comment? Please let me. Hare Krishna. Yes. Did you understand today's class? Okay. Yeah, I know. I know. No. Tulasi. Okay. Who is Tulasi Maharani? Tulasi Maharani is an expansion of Brinda Devi. So people normally don't understand the difference between Brinda Devi and Tulasi Maharani. Tulasi Maharani is there in Vaikunta also. Of course, here also we have Tulasi Maharani. But Tulasi Maharani is the one who is an expansion of Brinda Devi. And Brinda Devi is an expansion of Srimati Radharani. Now, the reason why we do not offer Tulasi to others, like Hanuman or something, Shiva, and all, we don't really offer because Tulasi belongs only to Vishnu Tattva. And now this is what it is. When we offer Tulasi, we are okay. So you have several things, points you really added. One is yes, we are putting Tulasi in the Boga. I mean, basically the Naivedyam that we offer. Because if you don't put Tulasi, then Bhagavan is not going to really take it. Yes, you actually asked a question: are we offering the Boga only to Krishna? Actually, even if you actually what we are trying to do is we are trying to make only Krishna happy. So how the Bhoga actually is really served is only Krishna. He has to really consume it. I mean, he has to really take it. He has to eat it, if you want to say like that. He is the one first to eat and then leave the remnants. So the remnants goes to Radharani and Gopis and whoever it is. So when we offer, we may put in only one plate, but you have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there, we have Krishna is there, we have Radharani there, right? So but the thing is, you really place the plate only in front of Krishna with the Tulasi. Why Tulasi? Because Tulasi Devi is one of the very dearmost Saki, directly serving the lotus feet of Krishna. And Krishna has so much of love and affection to Brinda Devi, whose form is Tulasi. So he, when we really, place a Tulasi, suppose we did not really have good love and affection or something, but then because Krishna is very straight, very, very strict. If you really offer something which is not really pure, he's not going to take it. But as soon as, because we have so many faults, but as soon as he sees Tulasi on it, oh, then he cannot say no. Because he is saying in other places, if a devotee is actually giving me water and Tulasi, I am sold to him. Okay? So Tulasi is important. Okay, so this is Tulasi. Now you also asked, so many questions you actually asked, right? Why we are not really keeping Tulasi to Radharani? No, actually, to Radharani, because you are not offering Tulasi, because Radharani is the Tulasi, then why are you offering? Because Tulasi is a favorite for Krishna. But at the same time, you are not offering Tulasi to Radharani at her lotus feet or anywhere except on the hand. On the hand you can keep Tulasi, the Radharani's hand you can keep Tulasi, so that because he can offer Tulasi to Krishna. But it's not necessary. What I am saying is, if at all you want to somehow offer Tulasi through Radharani also, then you can do that in the hand, not on the feet, at the hand, so that he can offer Tulasi to Krishna at the lotus feet of Krishna. So this is one philosophy. But usually you don't worry about it. Only offer to Krishna. You put Tulasi on the Naivedyam and offer to Krishna. Then do not worry about what happens and all, because you cannot really understand. So Krishna is the one who is really first takes the Naivedyam, and only the remnant will actually go to Radharani, and Radharani is also then giving to all the other Sakis. But then what is really happening is it is spiritualized. So because we don't see anything materially. So when after these 10 minutes or something, then when we take the prasadam, that prasadam we offer to our Guru and Guru Parampara, Vaishnavas, and also you offer to Tulasi Maharani also. Because they also, Tulasi Maharani means this is Brinda Devi. Brinda Devi also all the Sakis. So there's a mantra that the Pujari will be reciting that. There's a mantra, it's offering to everybody, all Brajavasis, there's everything, there's all the Vaishnavipyo Namaha, Vaishnavipyo Namaha, like that, everything comes there. Okay, I don't know whether it really answered your question or not. Oh, perfectly. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because there are so many things you are putting that. Okay, so okay, we hope that happens. Yeah, you offer to in front of Krishna. Don't put say never ever say, you some people also say you offer to Radharani and the Radharani will offer. No, don't do that. You offer to Krishna, and then he let him take, and then it really goes to Radharani as a remnant. That is how it actually goes there. But the idea of actually going through Radharani and all, it is really going to be complicated. For that you need very, very high bhava. If you really want to do that, you can offer to Krishna, and then after that, then after that, like Radharani and everybody takes. Now, what about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Radharani's mood. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu really came as a disciple, as a devotee of himself. So that means when we really offer to Krishna, so Krishna takes, and then Radharani and Mahaprabhu also take that as a remnant. Or whatever that happens, we don't have to really, don't worry too much about how that is happening there. No. You offer to Krishna, then that they are all taken care. Then after that, you ring the bell, pour some little, sprinkle some water, and then take the prasadam. Now the Naivedyam is prasadam, because it is blessings. Huh? Okay, then you really still the mantra to really offer to Gurudev and Guru Parampara, everybody like that, and then to the Vaishnavepyo Namaha, Vaishnavepyo Namaha, Tulasi Maharani, everybody. Okay, that is there in the temple book. If you read the temple book, remember the one I composed, from these Archana Tipika of our Gurudev. Our Gurudev composed the Archana Tipika, which is the standard for everybody. Amazing. So from that only I really extracted it and then made our own temple guide. That's what all our temples are following that. So if you see that that mantra is there as how we really should really. I have put all the explanations, everything completely as because of this you tell mantra, do this, tell this mantra, do this, tell this mantra. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so hope that you understood. Okay. Okay. Good. Very, very good. Very good. Any other question? I don't know. Today I really took little more time, even though today is actually the kind of a festival of light kind of thing, like not Diwali. This is called Kartika. Kartika means we really light lot of candles and then keep it in the outside, and also we make some special sweets for Krishna. So that day is today. Actually today I have to join them to really offer to the Lord now. So I thought we will be completing early, but now okay. Anyway, okay. वाञ्छा कल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. All glories to Srila Gurudev, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Parampara. Vanja kalpatarutyacha kripa sindhupevacha paritana bhavanepya vaishnavepya namo namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So tomorrow, what day is tomorrow? Thursday. Okay, so we have class tomorrow also. So actually, I am thinking of doing this the Rasa Panjathyaya. I thought of doing it because our Gurudev book is very, very special. I will tell you more and more. I got a copy, which actually Shyam Sundar Prabhu actually got one copy for Kanyakumari temple. So he brought from Vrindavan. So I am thinking probably we can really do, because 2 days we can do Chaitanya Charitamrta and 2 days we can do the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam we can do these things. And also the Veda Gita is there, Brahmana Gita, and those kind of things are also there. Because those are the real core of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So I'm thinking about that, but we'll see. That means Monday and Tuesday is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then Wednesday and Thursdays are, the Srimad Bhagavatam. That's one way of doing it. Because then Friday I have Tamil class. So now, so Friday is gone for that. Okay. All right. So see you all then tomorrow. Okay. I don't know which